Hello and welcome to This Week in Barbados. I'm Aliyah Briggs, and this week we come to you from the city of Bridgetown. Bridgetown is the capital and commercial center of Barbados. It's a vibrant place where a unique blend of African and British heritage comes alive. Steeped in rich history and culture, Bridgetown today reflects a mix of the old and new, with historic sites and buildings sitting amongst modern offices, financial institutions, and shopping malls. Pleasure crafts like yachts, catamarans, and fishing boats conveniently dock right here in the heart of the city. Visitors also appreciate the abundance of duty-free shopping opportunities available in Bridgetown, as well as the local charm the city brings. Now recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the historic city is also home to the Parliament Buildings of Barbados and the Bridgetown port, where cruise ships dock. Bridgetown is also the central hub of the island's public transport system. This week we have news on major developments in the pipeline for the city of Bridgetown. Some Barbadians still grappling with the effects of last year's volcanic ashfall, and of course we have sports. Bridgetown is Barbados' capital and our largest city. And after years of steady decline in commerce, this week Prime Minister Mia Motley announced that major renovations are underway for this historic city. These new partnerships and property developments are also expected to propel the Barbadian economy into the future. Wendy Burke has the details.
The city of Bridgetown will soon be transformed, as plans to repurpose a number of buildings in the area take shape. The properties are expected to be adapted for use by innovative industries as well as high-value tourism-related projects. Prime Minister Mia Motley revealed the details at the launch of the UWI Innovate and Entrepreneurship Center in the Old Mutual Building on Lower Broad Street.
What is happening here in Lower Broad Street is not an isolated act. I want to thank the government and people of China, and I want to thank Sagicor, in particular at the outset, for their commitment and for their belief in understanding, one, that we must repurpose an old economy into innovation, and two, that we must repurpose old buildings for current and modern purposes.
A number of other buildings are also to be repurposed.
To take the old sugar bond and to have that building repurposed also for part of the new economy. And I'm happy to say that discussions are very much now fully in place for that building and its new purposes, especially coming from our trip out of the Middle East within the last week. At an appropriate time, I will speak to those details because I do not believe in speaking before things are ready. But suffice it to say that I am confident that the investments that now have to be made in the rest of the city, be it in the old sugar barn, be it in the establishment of the hotel that we want to see obliquely opposite Kensington, the government has committed to the removing of the government procurement department, or what we used to call the old central purchasing building and headquarters, from that site to another site in Bridgetown.
The BIDC buildings, the properties on Gemmett's Lane, as well as Baxter's Road and Passage Road, are also part of the plan. The Prime Minister also spoke to the creation of the new Platinum Mile from Pierhead to Hilton.
Larger investments, as I said, on the Platinum Mile, moving from the Pierhead, and we're happy to have Mr. Isdell here, who expressed his confidence in the future of this country by ensuring that he purchased those properties on the Pierhead to do for the Pierhead in Bridgetown what he has been able to do for EPIC and the history and legacy of the people of Ireland in Ireland, by ensuring that that investment has become the #1 tourism attraction in the European Union.
Ms. Motley says the new partnerships and property developments are to take Barbados' economy into the innovative spaces of cryptocurrency and fintech, among others.
Consistent with government's plan to redevelop our capital, officials are also seeking to make Bridgetown a smart city. Smart cities are those which are technologically driven to provide solutions to urban issues and increase operational efficiency of public services offered. Smart cities are also the ideal environment for sustainable development, as these areas emphasize the protection of the environment and the use of technology to improve productivity in the private sector and the quality of life for citizens. Minister of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology Davison Ishmael announced that free Wi-Fi will be made available in the first phase of the project and highlighted a number of areas earmarked as free Wi-Fi zones.
Soon to be added will be the Cheapside Market, Jubilee Gardens, the area of the General Post Office, around Parliament Buildings, Swan Street and Subtle Street, among many other areas. The free connectivity is also to be extended to cover residential districts in the inner city. And we have had discussions with the Ministry of Tourism on how we can use this network to enhance our tourism product, including the use of mobile applications and virtual reality.
Barbados is also moving ahead with the implementation of a new Trident National Identification Card. The new digital ID will replace the current laminated card, which has been used by Barbadians for more than 50 years. However, data security remains a major concern for many Barbadians. Minister Ishmael is assuring the public that government is taking steps to safeguard their personal information through multi-sectoral collaboration, starting with the establishment of a cybersecurity working group. While acknowledging the many cybersecurity threats that exist, he revealed that this group will play a critical role in minimizing cybersecurity threats.
Additionally, government is at the advanced stages of creating a strategic partnership with one of the leading cybersecurity companies in the world. And we're taking this step for the purpose of defense. The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, that we live in a world where every single nation and major corporation is under daily threat from all types of ransomware, hacks, malware, credit card schemes, and assorted digital attacks. Therefore, as a government, we have an absolute duty to find the best skills and technologies available to protect our nation and our people. Additionally, government is moving full steam ahead with implementing its first national cybersecurity strategy and other applicable strategic legislative instruments.
Last week, we learned that 800 Barbadians could benefit from loans through the Barbados Trust Fund Limited. And this week, the fund launched 2 new initiatives intended to elevate small businesses and young entrepreneurs to the level of major competitors in the global market. The time has come for Barbadians as consumers and businesses to lend their support to a 100% Bajan e-commerce platform. That's according to Minister of Energy and Business Development, Carrie Simmons.
In the same way as we heard our consultant speak about Alibaba and Amazon, in the same way that Barbadians have sat in their living rooms and helped build out the Amazon economy, and in the same way Barbadians have laid in their beds at night with a computer or a telephone in their hand and built out Alibaba's economy, and built out by extension the economy of the United States, the time has now come where Barbadians can do this for ourselves in our own economy.
He made these remarks at the official launch of the Omniverse shopping portal, while highlighting that virtual spaces to facilitate trade became critical during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Omniverse is a virtual marketplace for local businesses and young entrepreneurs to sell their products and services, similar to more popular marketplaces like Amazon and Alibaba. This is the Barbados Trust Fund Limited's latest initiative. Omniverse representative Nicole Ford outlines some of its features.
Omniverse provides and manages the portal and storefront on a commission basis and offers all the supporting services required for companies to run an e-commerce business, including managing sales, returns, and even deliveries. The platform offers individual client dashboards. It offers product tracking, stock management, sales notifications, promotional activities, live chat with customers in real time, and then, of course, an integrated payment aggregator to make sure that we receive payments quickly and securely on the platform.
In conjunction with the Power of Choice campaign, the BTFL also launched a community-based agribusiness initiative geared towards the youth. Power of Choice campaign founder Errol Griffith shared the main goals of the program.
100 young people
with their parents can get a loan of just over $3,700. They will get the loan, and once their parents sign up, etc., they will have 2 instant kitchen gardens, the 10x4 delivered to their home. I already talked through the details. Now, they will be able to take the produce, eat some, give away some, and sell the rest.
Minister Simmons believes initiatives like these have the capacity to earn foreign exchange for Barbados. This week, the increase of 10% taxation on sugary beverages took effect. The tax was announced by Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley during her budgetary proposals a few weeks ago to address high incidences of non-communicable diseases in Barbados. And Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Wellness with responsibility for non-communicable diseases, Dr. Sonia Brown, reiterated policy must now go a step further to implement low-sugar environments in schools. However, she believes education must be the central focus.
So you have to start at that basis where they are taught what's healthy. Children learn and do what they learn. So you will get to a point, hopefully, where children can actually teach their parents, Mommy, I don't need this. Give me a fruit instead of a sweet. Give me a fruit instead of chips. Give me some water. And the schools, a lot of them have implemented water now. Give me some water instead of a sweet drink or juice. So the basis of it is not only making the schools with a drink-free day, but it has to be more than that.
The private sector has voiced concerns over the increase in taxes. However, Dr. Brown underscored her belief that health is more important than profits.
Everything extrapolates. The business sector needs healthy people to work in their environments. And it goes from there. We are already on a low population. The Prime Minister says that all the time. We need to increase the population. How do we increase the population other than bringing in folks without keeping the population healthy? So although you might get a little pushback from the business sector, going forward in the long run, it benefits them as well.
Traditional and botanical medicine experts are exploring the potential of plants available in the Caribbean. They believe this could be a sustainable solution to health and economic challenges. While delivering remarks at the Plant Biodiversity and Traditional Medicine Symposium, Minister of Health and Wellness Ian Gooding-Edgehill said the prevalence of NCDs in Barbados is directly linked to the decline in the consumption of plants as food and medicine. He is urging regional scientists to explore the health benefits of local plants.
I therefore challenge the entrepreneurial class to explore the methods of preparing tasty and nutritious indigenous foods. I also ask that scientists look at various plant strains that can aid in providing medicines that can be complementary to our orthodox medicines and pharmaceuticals. Indeed, in previous years, when there was a higher consumption of local food plants and traditional medicines, the burden of NCDs and the present health burdens, which are now experienced by the society, were not present.
The symposium is being hosted by the Global Environmental Facility Small Grants Program Barbados in partnership with the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus and others. The program provides technical and financial support to organizations in an effort to protect the environment and reduce poverty. During a presentation, Deputy Dean of Preclinical Studies and Senior Lecturer in Pharmacology, Dr. Damien Cohall, shared the findings of a modern community case study used to determine the attitudes and practice of botanical medicine in rural Barbados. The findings show diverse traditional knowledge on the use of medicinal plants in these communities, consistent with data collected in West Africa. And with consumers projected to spend more than $140 billion on botanicals for health and wellness by 2024, Dr. Cohall believes the current global trends support the use for botanical medicine and the potential for its development as an industry in Barbados.
We know that the market that is actually using these products are within the space of our global wellness economy. Traditional complementary medicine is just about 360 billion. When you look at that wellness economy that is out there, and if we're just using these plants primarily for their wellness, more preventative purposes, we see that market topping at about $575 billion, right? So there's a very large market out there. This should be a part of our tourism product. right? But I also believe that our people, through the development of a cottage industry, should be able to get benefits from this market as well.
Patrons at the annual agricultural exhibition, or AgroFest, being hosted in Barbados at the end of May, will see the results of collaborative efforts between Barbados and Guyana, as Guyanese products will be on showcase in Queen's Park, Bridgetown. The exhibition features farmers, craftspersons, livestock, and agricultural products. The event is organized by the Barbados Agricultural Society as they seek to raise awareness of the importance of the sector in Barbados. The Prime Minister's Special Envoy to Guyana and Suriname, Aliyah Wiggins, revealed modular homes will be unveiled at the Guyana Showcase during the festival. These homes are constructed off-site and transported to the intended location where they are assembled. Ms. Wiggins believes that this move will revive Barbados's furniture manufacturing industry.
Come AgroFest, 2 modular houses that the Prime Minister wants to sell to Barbadians will be on show at AgroFest. Not only the houses, but the furniture, the lumber, for every single room in a house, because our manufacturing industry in terms of furniture is dying, and that's one of the collaborative ways that Guyana is working with us for the introduction of training new carpenters, the exchange of ideas for both countries.
We'll have more This Week in Barbados in just a moment. April 10th marks the first anniversary of the La Soufrière volcanic eruption in the northern part of neighboring island St. Vincent. The eruption sent plumes of volcanic ash to Barbados. There was complete darkness in some parts of the island as thick layers of ash blanketed the island for days, drastically impacting the lives and livelihoods of many Barbadians, particularly the farming community. The government initiated a multi-million-dollar exercise which removed the ash deposits on the island. A businessman in the northern parish of St. Lucie, which bore the brunt of the ashfall, tells his story 1 year later.
Situated at the most northern point here in St. Lucie, the Animal Flora Cave was understandably heavily impacted by the ashfall last year. And as we hear from owner Manuel Ward, it was an exercise and an experience to remove the ash.
We moved about 48 pound carts of ash, roughly. It took us a few days because we couldn't wash down because of the problem with the water. So it was dusting and sweeping and then dusting it back and sweeping. And then, of course, the wind would blow it back from off the cliff because you can't sweep up out on the cliff. So today you would clean it all up and tomorrow it got more ash in the place again, especially on the windows and stuff, and up on you had to wipe everything down. But eventually we got it done. They still got ash out there. So I tell people that when they come to visit, they stand up on St. Vincent and Barbados together because the ash out there come from St. Vincent. You can't clean up the ones that are out on the cliff. So last year, the only thing that I was expecting to look for now was Godzilla coming out to sea because we had everything else.
But brighter days have arrived for this attraction.
This year is a complete turnaround. Thank goodness. Tourism is back on the up. We're seeing a good return. Nothing like what we had in 2019, but a lot better than what we had in 2020 and 2021. My staff are working 5-6 days a week now. They're getting money to take home. Service charge is helping. So I can't complain. We're on the road of recovery. Let's put it that way.
On top of that, Mr. Ward has found ways of making money from the ash.
I have now taken up all the ash. I have a sheep farm in the back, and I am mixing it with my sheep manure. So I selling it as a Bajan Vinci manure.
The Animal Flower Cave owner is optimistic 2023 will bring better fortunes for his team of 30.
You would recall a few weeks ago we came to you from Spitestown on the west coast of Barbados. Well, Spitestown was a hive of activity as the new jetty was officially opened to the public earlier this week. And the Sir Charles Williams International Fishing Tournament was the first to use the jetty after its opening. While he was acting in the capacity of Minister of Tourism and International Transport, Kirk Humphrey said the project, which cost just over $1 million, signals endless possibilities for greater access to Spitestown.
Via water taxis, and holds the potential to bring new life to the community with expanded opportunities for fisher folk, for restaurant and bars, retail shops and others, for those in leisure and commercial sailing and marine recreation. It will bring increased human traffic that will enhance the prospects for economic viability for this area. And I'm happy to hear you mention not only the large commercial spaces, Minister, but also the vendors who occupy this space, the persons who might be on the jet skis, the various different activities that occur in this space.
Spitestown serves as a major center in the north, where you find restaurants, bars, and a bus terminus with transit routes to the airport. According to Minister Humphrey, these make the town attractive to long and short stay visitors.
It is once one of our busiest sports. It has undergone a renaissance of sorts. It is genuinely a hub for the north and northwest of the island. And I think it is precisely because of its cultural heritage that you spoke so clearly to, its architectural and natural resources that must be integrated into the national tourism product. I think St. Peter and Spitestown offers something to the tourism product that no other parish or town could possibly offer, and we have to be able to maximize it.
Member of Parliament for St. Peter, Colin Jordan, foresees the jetty attracting Barbadians and tourists alike and welcomed all to become immersed in Spitestown.
We can have use of the jetty where we can see life on the jetty, and on their behalf, we extend our thanks and say to the people of Barbados, welcome to this town. Welcome to a town that is on the rebound. Welcome to a town that will make Barbados proud as we continue to build it out.
This week, Minister in the Prime Minister's office, Senator Dr. Chantal Munro-Knight, announced the reopening of the Rock Hall Freedom Park to the public during the season of emancipation. The Rock Hall Freedom Park is a significant part of Bajan history, as it is hailed as the monument that represents freedom in the first free village in Barbados. Rock Hall Freedom Village is set to become a multifunctional cultural and heritage site and an exemplar of how community tourism should be done. Sharika Griffith was there and filed this report.
The Rock Hall Freedom Park, a tribute to the first free black village in Barbados, was officially opened in August 2020. Less than 2 years later, it will be relaunched with some new features.
We are intending to actually launch on May 15th. We will be launching officially the Season of Emancipation calendar on April 14th. And as part of that calendar, we have a day, the International Day of the Families, and we're actually then going to launch Rock Hall Freedom Village right here with a heritage fair.
Minister in the Prime Minister's office, Senator Dr. Chantal Munro-Knight, was speaking as she and officials from several ministries did a walkthrough of the St. Thomas facility, where work on Phase 2 of the project is currently being carried out. She says when completed, the vision is for the park to be a multifunctional national cultural heritage product.
One of the big features of Phase 2 that's been completed is the amphitheater that we've shown you. And again, that is supposed to be multi-purpose as well. So entertainment, shows, weddings, conferences. I also want to say already the community is using it for exercise. They're already, using it on the evenings for different kinds of activities as well. By the time Phase 2 is finished, we're hoping to also include the water element. We would have shown you exactly how it's supposed to work, so that water element should be included, and as well as the landscaping elements and stuff should be included as well in Phase 2.
Minister of Tourism, Senator Lisa Cummins, and officials in her ministry were among those present. looking at how they can design tours and market the facility as an event location.
Here we have obviously the entertainment, the culture, the heritage, but we're also looking to bring in the retail. We're looking to make sure that there's product development. You will hear more from us in the coming weeks about our tourism product development accelerator program, which is going to be coming along to ensure that small businesses from our communities, artisans, and all kinds of partners at the community level have an opportunity to develop product for the purpose of selling it on a retail basis into the tourism industry, but also on an export basis into our major source markets through our tourism promotion offices overseas.
And Member of Parliament for St. Thomas, Cynthia Ford, says it has been a long journey, but is one of the proudest moments in her almost 21 years of representation.
I was extremely happy to learn that we are going to try to extend it beyond Rock Hall in itself, because the other areas that we would want to look at would be that rectory that is more than 200 years old, Portville Factory, St. Thomas Parish Church, a beacon in this parish, Quarry Spring, Rock Hall Gully, that has all of the little features that you would imagine in a gully similar to that in Rector Hall Gully, and other communities.
Several small contractors and suppliers are said to have benefited from the work being carried out at the Rock Hall Freedom Park.
We'll have some exciting sporting news when we return from the break. Thanks for staying with us. Now I'm standing in front of the careenage where a number of small pleasure crafts which are involved in water sport activities like fishing and snorkeling usually dock in this area. Now athletes in Barbados will soon be the beneficiaries of a $1.6 million investment by the Barbados Olympic Association. The association's Secretary General outlined the 4 tiers of funding and the requirements for athletes to receive assistance.
Talk about the road to Paris 2024. This is, as you know, as the president indicated, the games were postponed 1 year following the Olympic Games in Tokyo to 2021. That meant that there was not that 4-year cycle to build up to the Olympic Games coming up 2024. It was cut by 3. So Mr. Vice President mentioned about the scholarship holders who have been awarded scholarships for this year, and we also added additional athletes who we felt who would meet that criteria. And these are athletes who, in our consideration, have deemed relevant by the BOA, but not limited to whether an athlete was qualified for the last Olympic Games or is a potential qualifier for the next Olympic Games or has been recommended or has obtained an Olympic Solidarity Scholarship. So those are the 3 areas in which we consider athletes who we consider. There are some 12 athletes in that group.
Barbadian athletes continue to set records internationally, and Olympian Jonathan Jones can add another to his impressive list of accomplishments. He won his most recent 400-meter event in Texas, registering the 3rd fastest time of 45.07 seconds. Let's take a look.
Miller, Wright, Edaway, Heron, Bamadelli, Jones, and Impoke. And testifying to how good this field is, it's pretty even, but out in lane 6, that's Bamadelli now making his move. Emmanuel Bamadelli, the tall gentleman, 3rd from the left, and he is making up the stagger on everybody. It is Bamadelli, and now Jonathan Jones moving well from Texas. Bamadelli and Jones, and it's that race right there. Bamadelli and Jones, and it's tight. It is going to be Jones and Bamadelli, and for 3rd, it's going to be Willington Wright. Wow, 45.07 for Jones.
It was a pleasure bringing you the news and other happenings which made the headlines in Barbados this week. I'm Aliyah Briggs, and we'll be back next week at the same time from another picturesque location with This Week in Barbados.